Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
It's been a mystery for 11 years. 55-year-old Joanne Matuk Romaine found dead in the Detroit River some 70 days after disappearing following a church service she attended in Grosse Pointe Farms. Police believe Joanne walked into Lake St. Clair and killed herself. The family believes it was murder.
And she goes, if something ever happens to me, look to him.
Joanne's daughters say their mother got into a fight with her cousin, Tim Matuk, and for more than a decade, they have pointed the finger at him, saying he had something to do with her death. Tim has kept quiet for years, but tonight, that all changes.
I want to come out with my side.
Topping our news tonight at 6, Tim Matuk says he's been a victim of a witch hunt and that it is ruining his life and reputation.
The 64-year-old has never been arrested or charged in the death of his cousin, Joanne Matuk Romaine, despite that his name has been brought up as a person Joanne feared and that has caused a lot of controversy. Defender Karen Drew sat down with Tim recently to get his version of the mysterious death of Joanne Matuk Romaine.
Kim, Devin, the question, was it murder? Was it suicide? Did he ever threaten his cousin, Joanne Matuk Romaine? Those are just some of the questions I asked Tim Matuk, questions we have been waiting 11 years to ask. What made you decide you want to talk?
Well, now the lawsuits are over and there's really nothing more for me except for trying to clear my name.
Tim Matuk is an investigator for Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy's office. He's worked on many notable cases. He's been in law enforcement for more than 3 decades. When Joanne died, he was a Harper Woods police officer at the time.
So tell me about your relationship with Joanne Matuk.
You know, I've always had a good relationship with Joanne.
Matuk says his image has been tarnished because of accusations from Joanne Matuk Romaine's children.
I never thought we had an issue. That's why I made that phone call. They asked her, why would she go say that?
The phone call he's talking about happened a few weeks before Joanne died. Joanne's daughters say they remember it well.
We all of a sudden just hear yelling, like, at this person. And we're like, well, what the heck's going on? And she's like, you need to... I never said you were the root of everyone's problems. I told you to keep your nose out of everyone's business.
Joanne hung up, giving that warning.
You know, if something happens, look to Tim.
Michelle Romaine said her mother never gave her specific details, but was worried. Weeks later, Joanne would be dead. Tim says the call was all about a family fight over Joanne's brother, John, who has a criminal record writing checks with insufficient funds.
Why were you calling her?
I said, Joanne, why would you go around telling people that I'm the reason why John Matuk has so many problems? She responded she didn't want to talk to me and that I was a troublemaker, and she hung up the phone. I mean, the conversation couldn't have lasted more than a minute. I mean, I've never done nothing to her, and I've never done nothing to him. But apparently, their feeling was my involvement in law enforcement must have been the reason. I don't know. Other than that, I can't explain it.
Now, to the night Joanne went missing back in January of 2010.
What were you doing that night?
I was working. I was on duty, working with a Michigan State Narcotics Task Force. I was in the city of Warren.
What do you say to the family who says, yes, you were working that day, but you were on a radio, no one saw you, you could be basically anywhere in the state on one of those radios?
Well, it's pretty far-fetched. First off, I would never risk my job over that. I would never leave my partners vulnerable.
I would know, if someone was, shirking their responsibilities or trying to sneak out.
Bill Hanger was the lieutenant from Michigan State Police who oversaw Matuk's unit that night. He admits he never saw Tim in person, but believes Tim never left his surveillance unit.
It would be very, very difficult, almost improbable for someone to be able to leave a surveillance.
Matuk says his phone records from that night show he was in Warren. 21 calls made between 3:49 and 8:54, the night Joanne went missing.
How important are those phone records?
Very important. Tells the whole story for me.
Tim says he wants the accusations to stop.
It's just a constant abuse. It's just a constant harassment. And you just, at the end of the day, I want to clear my name.
But remember, the case of Joanne Matuk Romaine is still not closed.
From your gut, was Joanne murdered or did Joanne kill herself?
In my opinion, there's one set of footprints that go down to the water. That says a lot. None return. Now, whether she went down there for whatever reason and slipped and fell in, who knows?
Oh, there's a lot of questions about those footprints, the crime scene. That's not all we wanted to ask Tim Matuk. So our interview and the questions you want asked continues tonight at 10. So make sure to join us for Dateline Detroit, Secrets of a Small Town. We've tracked down a police officer who has never spoke on the case. We have obtained new evidence not shared to the public and video, which will leave you asking, did Grosse Pointe Farms Police do all they should have done in this investigation? I'll see you back here at 10 o'clock tonight for Dateline Detroit. Back to you.
Really looking forward to tonight's program. All right, Karen, let's move to the latest on the coronavirus as the new case count has slowed over the last 21 days.
The state reports 2,230 new cases, and remember, that's a two-day total from Sunday and today. Sadly, we've lost 20 Michiganders to the virus in the last 48 hours. Meanwhile, more than 755,000 people in Michigan have recovered from COVID-19.
On the vaccine front, if you want a shot, you have a little less than 2.5 hours to get one at Ford Field. Today is the last day for their mass vaccination effort there. It closes for good at 8:30 tonight. They are offering free one-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccines as well as doses of the Pfizer vaccine.
And as the country moves to the next phase of getting people vaccinated, many are still discussing the CDC's sudden shift on wearing masks. The guidance left some people with more questions than answers. So who still needs to wear a mask and why? Dr. Frank McGeorge is here to help us understand it. Hi, Doc.
Hey, Kim. Yeah, so first, I need to stress the CDC guidelines are for those people who are fully vaccinated. But practically speaking, we know that there are many people who are going to stop wearing masks even if they aren't vaccinated. And that is part of the equation for who still needs to mask up. Masks are still needed indoors for those who are not fully vaccinated, simply because they are at higher risk and pose a higher risk for others.
The science is also very clear about unvaccinated people. You remain at risk of mild or severe illness, of death, or of spreading the disease to others.
But even some who are fully vaccinated should still strongly consider wearing a mask, especially indoors or in crowds.
If you are immune compromised, you will most definitely want to talk to your doctor before giving up your mask.
That includes transplant recipients, cancer patients, those on dialysis, and on medications that suppress the immune system. There is concern that the vaccines may not be as effective in people with weakened immune systems, meaning they may not be as protected as others. They may also be at higher risk for complications if they do become infected. It's also essential for children under 12 to keep wearing masks as well.
When the children go out into the community, either in indoor or in certain outdoor settings, they should wear a mask if they're unvaccinated. When they ultimately get vaccinated, it will be the same as the adults.
Cases of COVID have been climbing in kids, and while they are less likely to suffer serious complications, in Michigan, there have been 138,000 cases and 12 deaths in children. Now, this means many parents may want to continue wearing masks as well when they're out with their children, particularly to model that behavior to them. A vaccine is not expected for children under 12 until the start of 2022.
So, Doc, I'm sure you're fully vaccinated, but when do you still plan to wear a mask?
Well, definitely in the hospital. In fact, based on how well masking and other measures actually just crushed this year's flu season, I'm probably going to always wear them in the hospital now. Indoors, it'll depend on the local requirements and how crowded a place is for me. And outdoors, I actually generally do not wear a mask anymore.
Yeah, well, thank you for sorting it all out for us, Dr. McGeorge. We appreciate it.
City of Detroit announcing who will step in as the interim police chief.
Former Assistant Chief James White will lead the department starting June 1st. He's born and reared in Detroit and spent 24 years with DPD, including 8 as an assistant chief. He left the department last year to lead the state civil rights department. He'll be taking over for Chief James Craig, who says White is a great choice.
I was always impressed with James, and I know he's going to do a phenomenal job. I talk a lot about the trajectory that we set in this police department pursuing excellence. And I believe that the pursuit's going to continue. I'm excited for the department.
White tells Local 4 he's going to focus on increasing patrols and engaging with the community once he takes over as interim chief. It's been nearly a year since the failure of the Edenville and Sanford dams that devastated the Midland area. The floods damaged thousands of homes, of course, last May, forcing residents to start over in many cases. Today, attorneys provided an update on the lawsuit against the state and Boyce Hydro, the owners of the dam. Let's bring in Sean Lay. And Sean, they may have to wait a while for this to be resolved, it sounds like.
Wow, you really have to be patient. You really feel, Devin, for the families. You mentioned these dams are privately owned by Boyce Hydro, facing now 10,000 lawsuits about this horrible disaster. So many people losing just about everything, but Boyce Hydro filed for bankruptcy. Metro Detroit attorney Ben Johnson explains what that means for the families that are looking for some help.
What does that mean for the litigation? Boyce is gone.
Boyce is Boyd Hydro, a private company. Both of their dams near Midland failed last May. The destruction was simply hard to believe. So many losing everything in Midland, and the village of Sanford was wiped out.
I lost my house. I was standing 500 feet from the dam when Sanford Dam let loose, trying to convince my neighbor he needed to get out or we're both going to die.
Boyce is facing hundreds of lawsuits, but it filed for bankruptcy. It will likely never have to pay homeowners who lost their homes. But attorney Ben Johnson says victims can sue the state of Michigan and the federal regulatory body who knew the dams were faulty. Boyce's license was pulled, but the state or feds did not force Boyce to fix their problems. Johnson reading from a federal report from 2018.
Failure of the Edenville Dam could result in the loss of human life and the destruction of property and infrastructure.
And that's exactly what happened nearly 1 year ago. So these lawsuits will move forward with the targets on the feds and what they knew and when they knew it, as well as the state of Michigan. But Johnson also says he's telling the families to expect both to appeal, and that'll take up to 3 to 4 years. So anyone looking for extra help there to help rebuild, they have a long wait. Back to you.
Sure do. All right, Sean. We've still got more to come here on Local 4 News at 6.
Let's get to Ben, and we're getting a little taste of summer this week, Ben.
You got that right, Kim and Devin. If we had 7 more days like this, I think we'd co-sign that. However, I dare you to dream big. Wait till you see the numbers in the 7-day forecast coming up.
Yet another presidential visit here to Michigan.
It's about how America wins the future.
President Joe Biden will be here at the Ford truck plant to talk about electric vehicles. And yet so much more. We'll tell you what that is.